Hey, welcome to Alum House Sound. My name is Dave, and today we're celebrating 7 years on YouTube. 17,000 of you folks have subscribed to this channel, and to me that's mind-boggling. I just wanted to take a second and say thanks. Thanks for validating a lot of the things that I have thought about myself over the years of growing up, becoming a middle-aged man, and I felt like education was one thing that I did kind of well. Gravitating towards it with any aspect of something that I felt I was good at, whether it was sports related or in this case audio related. Even now my day job, which we'll talk about in just a minute, which is data science and data analytics related. All of these things have, along with you guys, have validated stuff that I've thought about for myself in terms of my education background. So thank you for that. But right now, I just want to say thank you again for letting me into your lives, letting me come in and just be a part of your education, your growth, maybe your thought process along your journey as an audio engineer. Now, over the 7 years, this channel started out as just it was called Alum House because it was anything that I did here around the house. I do a bunch of different things, a lot of projects, and around this house, which is a 90-year-old house right now, this thing has had a lot of work. We've done things like solar panels, I've replumbed the house, I've redone the electrical in the house. This studio or room that I'm in right now, which is my daily office, where I do a bunch of videos, this space used to be an outdoor porch. And we framed it in and we put up windows and lights and flooring and carpet and all kinds of space, kind of enhancements just to be able to be in here and be able to record videos and do my day job actually, which I'll flip you around in a minute and show you what that looks like on the other side of where you're at. But this has been a journey. Now, the other thing that I used to put up a lot of was cars that I would work on, or bike racing, sports events. And over the years, prior to 2020, the year of COVID, prior to 2020, people just would randomly watch things and it was cool and fun and cute. And it was anything that was Alum House related. And we've got a bunch of great videos that my kids and I still watch that are really, really old videos that are on this channel. And it's just great to kind of capture those moments. However, a couple years ago, maybe about a year post-COVID, about 2021, a lot of you guys would watch and you'd be intrigued by the live streaming videos, the broadcast videos, the audio soundboard related videos, and you were growing in that aspect of what you're doing. And then I would put up a video about bike racing and you would scratch your head and go, I don't want to see you riding a kid's bike. What are you doing? Well, I want the next video about in-ear monitors. I want a video about whatever the case was, audio related. So at that point, we switched. We split the channel. I created a second channel called The Drive Train. And I took all of my fitness and automotive stuff and I moved it over to that second channel. And that's been an actively growing channel, not near the involvement as this, but it's a pretty niche market. You guys think that you're weird and unique just looking at consoles and audio. BMX racers in their 40s are a whole different breed. But we have fun over there. We capture more kind of home video related things and I do fitness stuff and again, more education, which I feel that I fall into naturally. I was a personal trainer for a while and so I try to help out that niche community of grown folks that are getting on bikes, that are riding around tracks, trying to have fun and not die, but they also want to get faster and better. And so I kind of work with that community over there. It's fun. We capture all kinds of things on that channel, but this channel we dedicated to just audio. And so Alum House Sound is what we had later coined this channel as, and just kind of focused on the sound aspect, the audio engineering side of things. And my goal from day one was to expand what I was already doing here naturally in my location, my hometown here of Richmond, Virginia. So here in Richmond, I would go around to churches mostly, and I would get called in to help them update their audio, fix their audio. We kind of took a MacGyver approach a lot of times. We would go into some smaller churches, and they were looking to move from traditional into contemporary type service or more modern worship, whatever you want to call it. They would try and include some guitars or some percussion instruments. And they realized quickly that their audio was just not good. And so we would pull out everything that was in the closets. We'd line up all of the old gear that they've had over the years. We would test a lot of their gear, throw a bunch of it out, and then we would try and figure out how can we make the best sound possible with the gear that you've got. And so sometimes that was realigning speakers and retuning the PA. Sometimes that was putting different microphones for vocals versus, percussion equipment. But we would go in and spend some time trying to educate them, and then also adjust their audio and kind of help them along the way of making proper choices going forward. Well, as you can imagine, going to local churches, while there are a bunch of churches around me, not all of them need help. And the ones that do you got to wait for them to call. And so we ended up starting to move to YouTube. I found a way to build some follow-up content, which many of you have already watched. It's taking multi-track audio that was recorded, putting it into a DAW, and practicing as a sound engineer in a DAW at home, just like an instrumentalist practices. Maybe you spend 20, 30 minutes a day, a few times a week, to really start to understand EQ or compression and how all that works together to be able to then, when you go into your venue and use a console like the ones behind me, maybe you can start to apply that learning to what you hear with your ears in your venue. And those videos were follow-up videos to me going in person and doing some training and education. In fact, if that intrigues you, I'll link that down in the description below. There's a whole playlist of videos that walks through kind of gain staging inside of your DAW, and then building a mix with your faders, and then EQ and compression, and then adding effects. And so it kind of takes you step by step, that process, and you can practice and learn how to get yourself better as a sound engineer right in the comfort of your home. Now you fast forward from that to COVID, and instantly when the world shut down, every church and religious organization needed to figure out how to broadcast their service to keep meeting their folks, their congregation, and help them be included in a crazy time of life. We wanted to help build community inside of this uncertain space of like, you can't go out of your house, or you've got to do this, or you can't do that. And there were a lot of restrictions, and everybody wanted to quickly figure out how to broadcast. Well, lucky for me, I had an X32 here at my house, and many people had the same soundboard at their church, myself included. And so they needed to figure out how to get their audio from their console out to the world. And so we ended up answering questions on Facebook. Actually, there was plenty of Facebook groups that people would ask questions, and I'd go down and I would take my phone and I would just hold it like this, and I would shoot a video over top of the console, and quickly 8, 9, 10,000 views within 2 weeks of people watching this video showed an appetite that people wanted to learn about how to do this stuff. Now, they needed to at that point. We are now 6 years almost past that era, and man, life has changed, right? Live streaming is here to stay. If you haven't watched the recent discussion that Churchfront did, that Jake did on Churchfront about live streaming being a front door to your church. I mean, how often, if you're going to go out of town and you want to visit a different church, how often do you just show up at the building? No, you look at the website, you try and dive into what their beliefs are, you try and go find a broadcast of, just to see what does the venue look like, what should I expect from the style and all those things. So broadcast really can be pivotal for your church, no matter the size. Now, that being said, we like to do things with excellence, and so getting the audio right will keep people around longer than amazing photography and video quality. You want to focus on the audio and get your cameras to work, versus focus on the cameras and get your audio to work. Many times you've probably experienced where you watch a broadcast and you've got to crank the volume all the way up. Or you listen to the band and the band sounds great, but then when the preaching comes on, it's so quiet, you can't hear it. And you crank the TV up, and then when the band comes back on, you get blasted. And so trying to find ways to help everybody to learn and grow in that aspect has been one thing that I've just really loved and enjoyed about these past 7 years. Now, one thing I want to talk about briefly is the fact of no matter this being my passion or not, there's a lot of things that I would love to do, and you guys give me some amazing suggestions in the comment section. The comment section is always active, and I'm always there answering questions that come up. But one of the things I have to keep in mind is, in terms of reality, is that my wife is vacuuming outside the door. Excuse me. Anyway, now that we are back here, so one of the things of reality is the fact that I'm a family guy. I've got 3 kids that are growing every year, and over the past 7 years, they've gotten older, and they've got different things going on with school and sports and activities. We are an active family. My wife is a triathlete. She actually just completed her first Ironman this year, but so many weeks ago, and that was an amazing feat. But she was training for months, like 7 months of training, which it became me managing all the household when she was training. But the other thing is, YouTube doesn't pay a whole lot of money. And so when you think about, oh man, I've amassed 17,000 subscribers, that only equates to maybe a couple $100s a month. And so there is no chance of this thing going full time. And I love the fact of being able to do reviews on products and have companies reach out to me because of this channel where I get to help share things along with you. But some of the ideas that come would, it would be great to do this review, or what if you stockpiled this stuff? And while companies do send me maybe one product for free, I don't have all the time and bandwidth, because I will say this: you guys helped me get my dream job. Now, in a perfect world, I would love to just work with you guys all the time. I'd love to be doing YouTube and being able to do greater and bigger things, but the reality is it just doesn't support a family of 5 right now. But you did help me get my dream job. If I had to pick one, guess what I get to do all day, every day, is I get to teach. I'm actually on camera working right here in this office. My camera actually faces you guys, anyway, I'm in the same spot every day for my day job, and I get to teach. I get to teach people how to use software, which is data science and data analytics related software. And that's a whole different part of my brain, which is super fun. It's still teaching and coaching and guiding. And that is also a reason why over the past 2 years, my videos have dropped in terms of frequency, and that's because when you're on camera all day, every day, it's hard to then flip the camera on again at night and not have bags under your eyes, because I'll just say it like this: when you're actually on camera here for YouTube, I can stop and start again. But when I'm on teaching a class, that's 90 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours of just me on camera, and that's a bunch. It's kind of draining, we'll just be honest with you, but I love it. I love it because I love helping people gain new education and insights, no matter what it is they're trying to learn. So over the years, we've done a bunch of reviews. We've got videos. This is my wing down here. So I've got the wing console down here. Keep the X32. I've bought a few other random consoles. I had an Allen & Heath at one time that I did a review on. And we've got our Rocket speakers up here. We've got the OC Go Stream over here. And I keep that anytime I'm doing like live stream question and answer stuff. I've got that set up. That's the rig that I use. That is my live stream rig that I personally use anytime I'm in here. I'm using this camera, the console, and I'm using X32 Edit a lot of times to do those live videos, live Q&A sessions. Outside of that, I've amassed quite a bit of gear. I mean, I'm on a Canon M50 right now for this video. I've got this DJI lapel mic that's down here that I'm using. We've got microphones galore. I've owned a lot of that gear prior to getting into YouTube world, but I've got GoPros, and I just bought a, what is this? This is the Insta360 3S, there we go. And this thing's cool. I just picked this up literally 2 days ago. And so I'm gonna start using that for some of my other videos and maybe for this. I also picked up this thing recently, which is a cheap little camera, which looks like a 360 camera, but the idea is when I go out to some of you guys' locations, I don't film anything because it's kind of obtrusive to take this camera around with me everywhere. I don't have somebody else that can follow me. And when I'm there, I'm kind of on the clock and I'm trying to get things done. And so for that reason, I want to be able to just focus on helping you guys solve problems and get up and running fast. I could do the Chris, oh, what's his name? There's the other guy that I'm sure you've seen where he does these great videos, and he's actually walking around with a GoPro on his head, which for you as the viewer is an amazing experience. You get that true POV perspective. I can only imagine how he feels and how the other folks that are interacting with him feel talking to him while he's got this camera on his head. And so for that reason, I picked this thing up hoping that I can just kind of stick it on my shirt and it will capture, as I walk around, that POV of whatever I'm doing with the console. So I've got a bunch of ideas of things that I'd love to do in the future. I have a list of videos I would love to make, and you guys continue to give me some great suggestions and ideas in the comment section, and I keep track of those. There is an ever-growing list of videos that people want to see and people want to learn about. There's so many new people that are just getting into a console like the X32. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the X32 is dead and never use it again and only buy this console or only go this way. But the reality is still this: the X32 is a monster of a console with so much power packed right inside of it and so much capability and versatility that it's kind of hard to beat for the inexpensive costs coming into it. We've also got so many videos already done that as people ask questions, I'm able to just take those old videos and link them to watch those old videos because they are still relevant and quality content. Now, that being said, I do still want to create new videos, and I'm trying to put that time in. I've got a young man that I'm working with to do some editing for me. He actually just edited, shot and edited a video for me where we reviewed an in-ear monitor. And that was great because he was able to come alongside of me. I was able to kind of guide him, and he's young. He's like 14, 15 years old, and he's aspiring to be a content creator, not for himself, but he wants to do a bunch of great videography, and therefore he's got to kind of get his skills up. So I'm partnering with him to do a bunch of editing on some videos along the way and give him some of that experience, which is great. And again, more coaching because I'm giving him ideas of things to look at and listen to and experience that I take for granted over the years that I've just experienced, whether it's TV, film, or in this case, creating YouTube videos. But after 7 years, this is crazy. We've still got plenty of things to talk about, plenty of places to go, plenty of people to see. I can't wait to meet some of you in person as I come out to work with your church on site when I can. And listen, continue to keep the conversation going down in the comments section. It's a community that we've built. You guys are all a part of it. And I just love how people will help and support each other when questions get asked along the way. So thanks again, 17,000 of you, 7 years of YouTube. It's been super fun, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.